Hey, everybody. It's a brand new day here on Gillum Farms, and I'm Johnny. And you will notice that my lovely co-host is not here with me tonight. Say a little prayer for her. She is under the weather. She's had a bad migraine all day long. She has been in bed all day. So there's a lot of folks who need prayers, and we'll get into that later on and stuff. But so, I really don't like being what they call having deadlines. Deadlines is not one of those things that I really enjoy that much. I guess it comes from because I used to work for, some entities, let's just put it that way, or work for some different entities where deadlines were a big part of it. And, I put a deadline upon myself. Well, I didn't really put it upon myself, but it's coming up. So I've got to meet it. And we're working hard on that. And that's a lot of what this is about tonight. The deadline that we have in order to get ready for something called Poverty Tour. And we've talked about it some and stuff like that. And what Poverty Tour is, there is a channel up in Missouri who it's his name is Dalton. Dalton Summit is his actual full name. He has a channel called Pole Barn Garage, and he has put together a tour of cars that, not like show cars or anything like that, just cars, older resurrected cars, to make it from Joplin, Missouri, all the way out to Tucson, Arizona, going west. And so we signed up. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to get an old 1977 4-speed Trans Am that we have. We're trying to get it going. And unfortunately, the original engine in the Trans Am, even though it was great for many, many years, it has a flat cam in it. So I'm having to change the engine out for a totally unknown engine that I bought many, many years ago and was sitting under a bench in our shop. So, I got all that going on. The picture that was on the thumbnail is like one of the last things that's what it looks like exactly right now. If you went in the shop, that's exactly what you would see. And that shop is, it's not right here at the house, but it's one of our shops. Let's just put it that way. So anyway, I've got some parts coming in. Luckily, some people are helping me with my deadline, and I've got some parts coming in. They've made it in. I pick them up in the morning. Some other stuff is I had to have a little bit of machine work done on some stuff, and the machine shop jumped right on that today. I took it over there this morning. They called me about 1 o'clock this afternoon, told me it was done, and that's fantastic. I will pick it up in the morning. Tomorrow is going to be a big day. Tomorrow we expect to have car, transmission, and engine all married back together again. So that's what we hope for. Now, so I was telling you all that, and I may have to say it again later, I don't know, but I was telling you all that to give people a chance to come in so I could say hello to them. So I've already said hello to a couple in the chat, but Tamara was first in at 419. Now, she was right on the spot because I don't think I put out our thumbnail till it was like 4:17 or something like that when our thumbnail come out. And she was right on it. And then there was Rebecca right behind her at 4:22. So thank you guys for coming in so early and everything. And then there's Nanny Tam came in. And Nanny Tam, I really appreciate all your comments and stuff on my videos. Nanny Tam typically comments on every single video or short that I put out, and I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Then we've got, and that's not to say that not everybody does. Tamara does an awesome job of that as well, because Tamara, what she does is she will watch, and I know she's doing this. I can see her doing it. She will watch your video, and as something comes up, she'll type that part in, like, oh, I like that, and then she will post it. And then she will go a little bit further, and then she'll type something else in about something else. Usually it's about the auctions, and she'll say, I like that cast iron this, or I like that, that bell, or I like that, So she is really, you can tell by the end of the video that both of these ladies have watched the entire video. And Rebecca does the same thing. So I appreciate you guys more than you could know, I'm telling you. And Rebecca, I'm using some of the parts that I got off of you on my car. So there we go. I got a few things from Rebecca the last time I got to see her in person. There is Arlene. Hello, Arlene. Thanks for coming in. Good to see you. There's Paul Honeyman from England. Good to see you, Paul. I saw a meme a couple of days that certainly reminded me of England. I won't share that here, but it reminded me of England. And the things that you guys are going through over there. Then there's Rhonda Dodson. Hi, Rhonda. Good to see you. I hope Bobby's doing well. You and Bobby. So that's Bobby Dodson is figuring it out with catfish, if you guys don't know. And then we've got, let's see here, going on down through the chat, we have John Goes Outdoors. John, have you been out yet? Have you? It is actually deer season here in Oklahoma right now, and it is archery season right now. Have I been out? No, not even a little bit. I have got the food plots in. If you saw my last video, you saw that I do have the food plots in. The deer are utilizing them very well right now, but there are a lot of white oak acorns dropping, so deer are just everywhere at this point. I mean, when I say everywhere, they might not be where you are. Just put it that way. If you're sitting out there, they may not be there because there's so much food right now. And but it is archery season. It started on October 1st. So we've got that going right now. And then I was on the phone, so I seen it immediately, I guess, says Tamara. Yeah. So there's Lacey Summers. Hello, Lacey. Car engines and transmissions are like a marriage. If they ain't perfectly matched, it's a losing battle. Right? Exactly. There's Troy Sutton. And Troy, I've got to share some stuff that Troy did for me, and I really appreciate tonight. And I'm going to do that here in just a few minutes when I get through the chat, because Troy went out of his way and did some stuff that he sure didn't have to do, but he did. And it means a lot to me. So, hey there, y'all. Just wanted to let every one of y'all know that you mean the world to me and have touched my life in so many ways. That's right, Troy. And that is awesome. So, and anything goes all shucks, I guess. And Tamara said, love good content. Thank you, Tamara. I appreciate that. Right, Paul. If car engines, transmissions are like a marriage, they ain't perfectly matched, losing battle. Right, exactly. Hi, Lillian. Right. It is sad that she is not feeling well tonight. Last week she wasn't here because she went to a women's group at church. They had a real fun night. They had dinner. She said it was a lot of fun. I don't know what exactly they did over there, but she said it was a lot of fun. I know they had dinner at church, and there was speaking by the pastor's wife and things like that. But and then this week, yesterday she was fine. I think last night before she went to bed, she started getting a little headaches. She said she was going to go lay down. And then that's been it. She's kind of been in bed the entire time since. She missed work today because she didn't feel up to it. And that is very understandable. And I'm just I prayed over her earlier, and we're just hoping the Lord helps her to get over her headache that she's got right now. There is James Hall. Hey, James Hall, how are you doing? Thanks for coming in, buddy. And so I see people saying hello to each other. Not yet. I'll be out Saturday morning, says John. Going out Saturday morning hunting. Right. I'm not going hunting Saturday morning. Hey, there's Paul Case Farms. Hey, Paul Case. Got the two Pauls in here. It's good if you got the two Pauls. I've got one eye on you, Johnny, and the other on the babies. Ah, you're babysitting again. I see that. Nanny Tam babysitting again. So, yes, prayers for Christine's speedy recovery. Absolutely. Hey, there's Reverend Joe Jacobson. Howdy, howdy. Prayers and blessings all from Eastern Iowa. Good to see you, Reverend Joe. Thanks for coming in. Yes, migraines do suck, Tamara. Hey, Jacob Halpayne, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. So let's see here. Are you related to any of the Halpaynes over here or near, well, they're not too far from me over here near Peggs, Oklahoma. Let me know. It might be where you know me from, is from the auctions over at Peggs and stuff. And let's see here. I think I'm down toward the bottom now. All right. Yeah. And yes, you are. You're related to the Halpaynes. I probably know your grandpa, and I hope he's still doing well. And maybe your dad. I don't know. The heavy equipment guy did a lot of heavy equipment work, or has a construction company, heavy equipment construction over there. If your grandpa's who I think he is, he might be the one has the Red Angus cattle. So anyway, yeah, we're getting ready for Poverty Tour. So Christine's supposed to go with me on Poverty Tour. We're going to leave from. Hi, Lori Carp. How are you doing? Thank you, Nanny Tam. So we're going to be leaving actually from here on Saturday, the 11th, and we're going to be driving to Joplin, Missouri, which is actually almost 3 hours in the wrong direction from the way this tour is going to go, because that's where it actually stops. Starts. That's where it actually starts. And I wanted to be one of the people who long hauled it. So that means we're going to drive 3 hours extra to long haul it. So there's Christy Betts. Hey, Christy, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. So we're going to be long hauling from Joplin, Missouri. We're driving a 1977 Pontiac Trans Am that I bought many, many, many years ago. I believe the purchase price for that car when I purchased it was, I want to say I gave like $1,200 for it. Okay. Running. It's a black on black 1977 Pontiac Trans Am and 4-speed car. So yesterday I finally got some help again. I have to work when I can, whenever I have help for certain things. Because used to be, whenever I was younger, I could do all this stuff by myself. Now I could do a lot of this stuff by myself, but also I need better eyes. That's my main thing, is better eyes. So what happened is me and my brother actually got the car. We got it all, we pushed it out of the shop. It had a good layer of barn dust on it, like an inch thick. We messed around with it. Whenever I went to change the oil, it came out in clumps. The oil did. So, I mean, it was just big chunks of oil. I had to keep sitting there with the screwdriver plunging it into the thing. And water, a lot of water out of the oil pan. So, anyway, we got all that cleared out. We got some oil and a filter in it. And I did some things to it, and we actually got it to start. Not only did it start, it started idle right then. And it was really great. I drove it around the field. I've got a video on it. It's not out yet, but I've videoed all of this stuff, though, guys. So I drove it around the pasture, and whenever I parked, I noticed it has a pretty good miss in it. And I was like, well, I think I remember something about this from years back whenever I stopped driving it, because, there's always a reason why you stop driving something. I had forgotten why I stopped driving this car. I really had. Nanny Tam, oh yeah, mice, yeah. Not only mice, rat. So anyway, so I was like, I know there's a reason why I stopped driving this. I couldn't remember why. And guess what? I finally remembered why I quit driving it. It's got a cam going flat in it. So it has one lobe that's basically round on it. And if you know anything about cam lobes, they're not supposed to be round. They're supposed to have a peak on them somewhere. And anyway, so that's not going to fly. I could do a shade tree cam and lifter job on it out there, but that doesn't get all the cam material out of the engine. The engine is full of metal from that, besides all the other, what the water did to it and everything. So, yeah. So no, I didn't put a cam in. I'm going to have to take that engine apart, vat it all, clean it all up, put a cam and lifters. I'm going to put bearings, rings, all that good stuff in it. I'm going to do that for it because it is the factory engine for my car. I want the factory engine working. So, but me and my brother are sitting there, and we're like, wow, we're kind of dead in the water on this deal right now. So what do we do? So under a bench at the back of the shop, under a bunch of junk, and I mean a bunch of junk, there is a 1973 Pontiac 455 carburetor to oil pan that we pulled out of a 73 Pontiac. I can't remember if it was a wagon. I can't remember if it was a Bonneville wagon or if it was a cat wagon, but we pulled it out of a wagon up near the Kansas border, up past Bartlesville. And the way that worked was the guy had it on. There used to be a paper where people bought things. It was way before cell phones, way before. I mean, you picked up a phone and you called people. Cell phones weren't a thing back then. I mean, if you had a cell phone, it was like one of the bag phones in your car. So anyway, I found it in one of these papers, little sale papers and stuff like that. So what I did was I rolled it, because I had it on a rolling. It's not like an engine stand. It's like a little roll around thing, so you can move stuff around, heavy stuff around the shop. I had it on that, and me and my brother time lapsed on video us digging it out. So we dug it out from where it was sitting and drug it out into the floor, and I put a bar on it to turn it over to see that it wasn't locked up. And guess what? It locked up. I mean, it wasn't locked up. It was not locked up. And it turned really nice. So then we got it up on an actual engine stand, and I changed the oil. And the oil, albeit being black and everything, there was no water or anything like that in it. I didn't notice any metal. I did not cut the oil filter in half. But I didn't notice any oil or any metal in the oil or anything like that. So, yeah, so I pulled that out. I took the timing cover off of it because a lot of those cars have a timing gear and set that the timing gear is, the cam gear a lot of the times is made out of a plastic material. It's composite. It's what they call it, a composite material. So anyway, a lot of times that will be eaten up and will fall down in your oil pan and stuff like that. So I took that cover off, and I noticed that it had metal gears, but man, it was loose. It was so loose. That timing chain, I guarantee, had 20 degrees of variance in it. If you know cars, you know what I'm talking about. So I ordered a timing chain, gears. I've ordered a bunch of stuff for this thing at this point. But anyway, so I've got all that fixed. I've got the timing set on it. I've got everything. We rolled it over. The cam seems to be doing all the things it's supposed to be doing. The valves are going up and down. And as long as it has, hey Ed, how you doing? Whistle to stop Homestead. So as long as it doesn't have like burnt valves in it, or the valves aren't, too far up in the seats and the heads, because that's my main concern right now is valves. It should get compression. If it has compression and it has fire and it has fuel, it'll run. That's all engines are. They're compression, fuel, and fire. That's it. There's the simplest things ever. Hey, Robert Mack in here. Mr. Mudd. Hey, Mr. Mudd, how you doing? How's Teresa? So that's where we're at on that. We pulled the engine out yesterday, and I know you guys are going to watch it. The folks who do watch my videos are going to watch this. You're going to see us. We're going to pull that engine out in a very unorthodox way, but we pull the engine and transmission together. We got it out last night, and we busted it apart. I looked at the clutch in it, and the clutch probably could be run probably for another, several thousand miles. But I was thinking, I've got this thing out right now, and I really don't want to put another clutch in it, and and I really don't want to pull the transmission out within the next, 4 or 5 years. I just want to run for a while. So I ordered a new clutch pressure plate and all that stuff today. So it's all in. We've got a new throwout bearing, a new center, the pilot bearing. We've got a new pilot bearing. So we got all the stuff. I had the flywheel turned today, and so I'm happy about that. The flywheel's been turned and turned out nice, they said. And so we should have everything clutch wise should be in really great shape. Transmission works okay. It's not something you're going to speed shift. I would never race with this thing. I can tell you that. Hey, Mike, Mr. MT Homestead in here. I would never race this with this 4-speed transmission because I have torn up some standard transmissions in the past trying to do stuff like that, especially the stock stuff. So, yeah, it's just going to be drive. Teresa's busy with her mom. She's still on hospice. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Mr. Mudd. So sorry to hear that. I know I know she was real good friends with Lori as well. Teresa was. I saw her post on Facebook and everything about that. That was a sad deal. Sure gonna miss Lori for sure. Um, but anyway, that's where we are now. In the morning, I'm supposed to go by the machine shop first thing. I'm picking up a turn flywheel, all the things I had vatted. I had a lot of stuff that was vatted and everything, so they've got it all cleaned up for me. Man, I'm glad about that. So because whenever I get done working on this thing in the evening, I'm like, you can't even tell what color I am anymore. So we got that done, and then I go by the parts store, pick up new clutch pressure plate, all that stuff. Then we're going out, and I'm supposed to meet up with my brother and a neighbor, and we're going to get busy on this thing. And so we're hopeful that this runs by the end of the weekend, and it really needs to, because I have to be able to drive this thing enough before we take this trip in order to be, I guess, confident in it. Now, I've had all the wheels and stuff off, and I'm pretty confident in the brakes. They feel pretty good. The brake pads on the front are new. I'm pretty confident in the brakes. Pretty confident. Things like wheel bearings and tie rods and things like that. I'm checking all that stuff out. New belts, hoses, new fuel pump, there's just a lot of stuff. And whenever we get done with it, it should be as mechanically sound as junk can be. And I tell you, I call this thing junk because most of the cars that like my GTO, that's absolutely not junk. I mean, that GTO is state of the art. It's got everything it needs. Yes, it's back drums on that one. I may have to address wheel cylinders on it. I'm not sure. We haven't got to that point. I know that it stopped fine when I drove it around the field the other day. And Tony, our cabin, said he's wanting me to do donuts on the trip. I really don't want to. If I do any donuts, it'll, if I feel up to it. But I've watched all these guys. There's several people going. There's a lot of channels going on this deal, and there's lots of people. And you know how many people have tore their car up in the last month preparing for this thing because they've done stuff like that. Ran into people, tore their transmissions up, dropped valves, done everything else. So, I would like to make it. I would like to be like, I would like me and Christine to just be able to cruise, and she can be my frog. I'll be the bandit. We'll just cruise. Black 77 Trans Am, westbound and down. So that is kind of what I'm hoping for. This engine, like I said, it's pretty unproven. The only thing I can go off of is I vaguely remembered the guy I got it from saying that the reason the engine was coming out of the car is because he bought the car for a demo derby car. Hey, Penny, how are you doing? And he bought the car for a demo derby car and was pulling the big engine out to put a small block in it so it had more room around it to crush. If you know anything about demo derbies, the last car running and moving at the end is the winner, and there's pretty big money in it. So they put a small engine in it so that whenever as the car gets crushed and stuff, if the engine is smaller, then it, has more crush room around it, more, and it can still work. He told me that he said he got it from an old man in the car, and the old man said the engine was great, the transmission went out, and that is the reason why it was parked. So I'm going with that in my head right now. By looking at the engine, I think he's, right. I'm not sure that it may smoke, it may use a ton of oil. I don't know. All right. But I'm just going with what I got. I'm going with what I got. We'll deal with whatever on the road. So, Christy used to do donuts when I was young. Yeah, I think we've all pretty much maybe done some. Well, maybe not all of us, but I did. I know that. So we got all this going. I'm filming it. I should have a video out about the getting the car running and prepared for Poverty Tour. I should have it out before we leave on Poverty Tour, and then I'm going to film the entire trip, and then the trip itself will be a video. So there should be a couple of videos about this. I've thought about breaking it into 3. I don't know. What do you guys think? One, I could do one that right now that is about where we got it up to where it was running, and then I go, oh no, I found out that it's got a flat cam. We're going to have to do something different. Or I can just go ahead and fix it. Hey, Ben Wilson, how are you doing? Never had a car powerful enough nor the money for tires to do donuts. Oh, James, if you've had any car to do donuts, any car, I could go out here and get in our Honda and it'll do donuts. Any car will do donuts. I remember we had a car, me and my brother, whenever we were kids, younger, I'd say he was probably 17 and I was probably, I would have been 12 or 13 at the time. He traded for a little Opel car, and that little Opel, it didn't have enough power to pull itself up a hill, like a normal hill on a road. I remember getting out many times and pushing on that car to get it up a hill. And guess what we could do with it? We could do donuts. It would still do donuts. If you're cutting that wheel, it'll break them tires loose going around in dirt. So just saying, it did donuts. It was a lot of fun. That was a fun little car. He traded a Yamaha YZ80 for that thing all those years ago. And that little YZ80 was junk too. I mean, everything we had was junk. I remember whenever I was growing up, I had a lot of cars whenever I was younger. Whenever I was 15, 16, 17, 18 there, I'd have 3 or 4 cars. 1 carburetor and 1 battery between all of them. And so if I wanted to drive something different, I was always pulling the carburetor off and the battery out of something else to put it on something else to drive. It was always the same. Out, UNTV asked my granddaughter, who's that? And she screamed, Pawpaw. And she said that since first time she saw you. Oh, wow. That's awesome. She can call me Pawpaw. I don't care. I'm at that age. Little Renault Alliance did great donuts, and the snow husband made me stop because I was expecting. Yeah. I've never done a donut in a car yet. You see that yet at the end of that? Maybe I'll do a donut out there in the cow pasture before we leave. Maybe that'll be it. Maybe I'll just, and then we'll go. I mean, it is a Trans Am, by the way, right? Somebody said something about jumping a bridge, and I said, I ain't happening. I ain't jumping no bridge. So anyway, that's what we've got going right now. You guys know about as much as I do at this point. And hopefully it turns into a really good video. I hope a lot of people enjoy this. Then we bought, oh yeah, the bull calf that I put in the short that day, his name is Gus. So I think Nanny Tam came up with Gus first. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look, but Gus is the name of our new bull calf. We came up, hey, Wendy. Said I was a street racer when I thought I was a street racer when I was 16 Kansas, but I got myself killed, right? Yeah, I'm not going through any football fields. I did a donut in a 69 Cadillac, not on purpose, trying to make a left on the interstate on ice. Yeah. So, but anyway, so we bought another heifer a while back. I'm going to talk about her a little bit. We bought a heifer off the same couple that we bought Gilda from. And he told me, he said, if you want, you can just kind of leave her here. She was bred and she was supposed to have a calf in September. He said, just leave her here. And after she has the calf, you can pick them both up. And that way we make sure the calf's good and everything like that. He actually held my check to make sure that we ended up with a good calf out of this deal, because he said she's a heifer. Heifers can have trouble. And if she was not going to be able to have a calf, or if the calf was born dead or something like that, he was going to tear up the check on her. And so we left her over there. They're good friends of ours. Had our bull calf. So we've got 2 little bull calves now. And this one, there was another name. I think Angie came up with this name. It was Charlie. So we're going to name that bull calf Charlie. So we've got Gus and Charlie, the new calves. I've still got I think once we get back, it might not wait till we get back. I might have to go middle of next week and pick up the mother, which we haven't named her yet. We haven't named the mother of that calf. I'll pick up her and her calf probably middle of the week next week and bring them out to the farm. The only bad thing about out at the farm right now is the army worms have gotten to all of the grass on the place, and they have pretty much done it in. So I'm feeding hay. And range cubes right now. I've got to get out there and spray the cattle. I'll have to do that this week as well. At some point in my spare time, I'll have to get out there and spray the cattle this week. And because I noticed the fly load is more than I want it to be right now, I've sprayed them like 4 times this summer, but that's one of those things you just have to keep doing. So I got all the stuff again today to do that. And I'm going to be spraying them next week. I'm hoping that I can pick up that heifer and her calf sometime midweek, and I can take them out there and start introducing them. I've got a bunch of heifers that are in a corral right now that I'm weaning from their mothers. And so, hey, Maritza, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. So I've got those calves that I've got to get them out of that corral this week. And I've got to keep them away from their mothers. So the mothers are 2 pastures over, but still yet they can hear each other. And if they can hear each other, then a lot of times that's a problem. So I've got to do a little bit of work out there in order to be able to turn those heifers out. Now, those heifers have been in that corral at this point for 3 weeks. So I'm hoping that they've been there long enough to where they're not so got to bail through this fence deal. Yeah, they're not bawling anymore. They went through, I think there's 3 days of bawling whenever you first separate them, where it's just constant bawling. I mean, constant bawling. 3 days. Then after that, they bawl a little bit when they hear each other. Then after a little bit after that, they just more or less stop. Hey, Andy. Howdy. Yes. Sorry about our hummingbird. That's right. Absolutely. Um, so yeah, and I told everybody that we named that calf Charlie too, Angie, the newest calf. It's not Gus. We have a Gus, and then we have another newer one that's Charlie. Um, hey Debbie, how are you doing? Thanks for coming in. So we've got that going on. I've got to get all that sorted out before we leave on poverty tour. And the other thing is our chickens had been pretty molty, and they have now put feathers back on and stuff like that, and they're starting to lay again. We got to a point there where we were only getting about 1 or 2 eggs a day out of, I believe it's 11 chickens right now. 1 or 2 eggs a day out of 11 chickens. And now they're starting to pick up. I think today I got 6 eggs out of there out of the 11, which is good because 6 eggs out of them is good right now. And then we've got our pheasants. We've got 6 pheasants, 6 ringneck pheasants, and the ringneck pheasants are, unfortunately, there's 5 males and 1 female. But we turn them, they're actually in with the chickens. So if anybody ever asks you if chickens and ringneck pheasants can live together, they absolutely can. They've been in there at this point, for about 2 months, a month and a half. They've been living together. The pheasants look wonderful. They look great. They don't have any problem. I put actual out in their run. They've got a covered run and everything like that. Out in the run, I've got those roost bars up high, and the pheasants usually sit up there and just look down on the chickens. Go, look at the peasants down there. So anyway, they're doing well. I wish I could say we were doing good on grass right now, but we're not doing, as far as cattle grass, we're not doing any good on that. We're not doing good on watering the ponds. Still got the minnows are searching for air in the pond because we have had 1.5 inch rain since, I bet we're going on at least 2 months. With 1.5 inch rain out there. So between the army worms and no rain and stuff like that, it's tough. Luckily, we have enough hay to get through, so we're going to be able to do well with that. And so, yeah, I mean, we're going to make it. Everything is going to be fine. It's just that, man, it would be so handy if I didn't have to feed daily the cattle, while we're going on poverty tour, I'm going to have my nephew who lives out there near that to kind of watch over them, because no, the spring is not running. The spring only runs I'll tell you how that spring works out there. The spring is obviously some kind of a deep spring. It will run all spring. But once it gets hot and dry, and when I say hot and dry, I'm saying once we go like 3 weeks without rain and it's, up near 100 degrees, it's the spring just kind of, I think it just goes right back underground again is what I think. I think instead of it popping out, it just stays underground, because it actually goes all the way down. It goes off of our property, and it actually goes onto another property down there. And down there, it is actually water running into the creek, that same spring. Right there where it comes out in our property, there's a creek on the properties south of us, which the creek down there is called Mill Creek. And that spring will run right into that, into that creek, and you can see it. I mean, it's water down there at that point. Hey, Rainy Ridge, how y'all doing? It's probably Tina. Thanks for coming in. I know Dale and Lee. Oh, I need to tell you guys about that. Dale and Lisa won't be live tonight. 9 Acre Family Farms. They're at a banquet. He put out a community post or something on YouTube about that, so they won't be live tonight. It will just be me now, and then it will be as far as Homestead Hangout. Now, there's other lives, guys. There's other lives, but as far as Homestead Hangout, it will be me, and then at 6 o'clock it will be White Rock Homestead, and then that's it for the night. So, but there are other lives here and there and about and everything like that. So you can check out the lives and, whatever lives are on tonight and stuff like that. If you're watching lives. But anyway, so what I've got to do tonight is I've got to finish editing the video that comes out tomorrow, because, every Friday I have a video come out at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I try to make my videos kind of like clockwork. I try to make them come out, every week at the same time. I like to have all that stuff. I like to do that. And I can tell you right now, I'm going to give you a tip. YouTube likes that too. YouTube loves that. YouTube loves for you to be consistent with your videos. So if you're really consistent and stuff like that, oh, bye, Nanny Tam. So yeah, I'm sure it's John Deere or something that they're having a banquet. I'm picturing Dale sitting there in like this royalty, coat and this little crown and stuff at the banquet, having, his banquet. And I hope they have a great time there tonight. But anyway, so but I'm going to be, I've got to get this thing figured out. I got to get this car figured out, and then we're going to be able to go on this tour and everything. But what I was talking about, here we go. This is where this age thing, CRS comes up. What I was talking about is, if you're doing YouTube videos and stuff like that, YouTube loves consistency. They really, really love consistency. And it's working well for the Gillum Farms channel, things like that. As a matter of fact, the reason I'm able to do a lot of the things that I do is because of YouTube. A lot of it is like all that stuff that I get from auctions, that YouTube pays for all that stuff. All these car parts and stuff that I'm buying right now for this Trans Am, that's all YouTube. Tires, etc., etc. It's all YouTube. So I'm just saying, hey, keep on keeping on. And if you can ever get to a point where you're very consistent with your stuff and everything, and you get in there to where, you're putting out things that they really, that they really like, they YouTube recommendations, that's where you want to be. You want to be where YouTube, when they're recommending your videos out to people, YouTube recommendations is where we get most of our views from. That's YouTube itself saying, hey, check this out. Check this out. It's not from, like, I put out a video and somebody gets a notification. It's a recommendation from YouTube itself. So Dale ain't in no crown, LOL, farm hat and overalls. Yeah, probably some new dungarees and a white shirt and a straw hat. Right. But you know what? I've seen Dale wear them. I was with him whenever he bought some Hey Dudes and was wearing them and stuff like that. Derek says, hey, Derek, good to see you, Derek. I just keep sending YouTube receipts, but they just won't pay for my tractor parts, LOL. I'll tell you what, there was a long time when YouTube didn't pay a thing for any of our stuff either. But, consistency was key. Just keep on keeping on. Not Nanny Tam says, not me. She's saying bye-bye to me. Oh, okay. I got you. Well, tell her goodbye for me if she hadn't already gone. Yeah, well, shame on them, Derek. Absolutely. And I don't know what you spent on tractor parts or anything like that, but I've spent, oh my gosh, you don't even want to get into what I've spent on that GTO. The GTO is, if I added all the stuff up on that GTO over the years that I've had it, I don't even want to know. It's one of those things you just kind of don't ever want to know. It's just, oh, they're gone now. Both eyes on me now. All right. Well, I hope that don't blind you too much. So, but anyway, but I'm really looking forward to this resurrection video on the Trans Am. I'm really looking forward to putting that out. I'm excited about it, and I hope you guys are excited as I am about it coming out. It's kind of a new thing for us. We've got not only that, but we have a few other resurrections coming up after that. We have a resurrection on a 1969 Pontiac GTO. It's not the one I race, it's another one. So I'm going to be resurrecting another 1969 Pontiac GTO. I can tell you that probably the very next resurrection video will probably be the 1960 Jeep that I bought at auction, Jeep CJ5. That will probably be the very next resurrection video. That will be this winter. The GTO will be this winter. I've got to get some electric in my shop out here, though. I've got to be able to see. That's the reason why I don't do a lot of shop video, is because the light is so poor. I don't have any lights, and it's hard to film in there. It's really hard to film, so I don't do a lot. Yeah, I'm hoping that I can still do auction videos and resurrection videos. I'm hoping like my Tuesday, Wednesday stuff will be some resurrection video of some sort, or something car related, more hunting, fishing. I haven't put anything on outdoors and more in quite a while. Christine wants me to take outdoors and more and turn it into like Gilliam's Garage or something like that. But I'm like, I don't know that I'll get the audience. I get a pretty good audience from using the Gilliam Farms channel on videos and stuff. I mean, some of them don't do all that great, but a lot of them that I don't think are going to do great do great. When you drive the Trans Am, you have to call Christine Frog at least one time for the Bandit. I will do that while we're doing that video, because she's got that dark hair and everything, and yeah. So I don't have dark hair, so I don't know whether I do have a hat though, but I do have cattle, so I can do that. So anyway, hey, there's Brian at the Vineyard Farmhouse. Howdy. Thanks for coming in, Brian. Got to talk last night with Brian quite a bit. Talked to him on live, and then I was on the panel last night, and then I think we talked for a little over an hour after the live last night. So yeah, that was an enjoyable time talking with my buddy Brian. And everybody, I want you, there's a lot of people you need to keep in your prayers. Keep Dana Mason in your prayers. I'm not going to pray on here tonight, but I want you to keep them in your prayers. Keep Dana Mason in your prayers. Keep Teresa's mom in your prayers, and Teresa Jukowitz. Keep Christine in your prayers. Keep, there's some folks that I don't know that they've told everybody what's going on or anything like that. Keep them in your prayers. Just a prayer request for our community. Let's just put it that way. A prayer request for our community. And then we have, Brian's mom, Brian of the Vineyard Farmhouse. Keep her in your prayers. There's just a lot of folks that have a lot of things going on right now, and just keep everybody in your prayers, and always keep our country in your prayers. Our country needs prayer more than anything right now. We just want to make sure that, everything is, um, just help people to, to see how it actually is, instead of how they're told it is by the media, how the country actually is instead of how it's portrayed. I can tell you right now, I do not, our media is absolutely not for us in our country. It's not for you folks who are in Canada. I don't know that there's any Canadian folks in here, but it's not for you over there. And it's definitely not for you over in England either. So just saying, yeah, pray without ceasing. And Debbie says, amen. Johnny, absolutely. Rebecca needs prayers for her knee. So everybody pray for Rebecca's knee. Pray for Anna Worth. And Linda Peterson, I actually saw, she commented on some of my videos today. So Linda, my understanding is she's having some kind of computer problems. I don't know that for 100% fact. I heard most of that on Scott's live earlier today, that she's having some kind of computer problems. Christy Betts, my mother-in-law, having surgery on an artery in his neck, almost 83. He and my sister have been married for 58 years. All right, praying for them, for him, praying for your sister. Pray, John, don't do donuts. Something may happen to Corin, and my husband may not be around. And then my husband may not be around. Something may happen to Corin, and my husband may not be around. How's that going to work? How's that? What's Tony going to do? Oh, yeah. By the way, in 3 minutes, you're going to go to White Rock. But right now, I got you. All right. So, by the way, Evelyn Newman is going to meet us in Grants, New Mexico. She's coming out. That's one of our stops, is Grants, New Mexico. We're going to be overnight in Grants, New Mexico. So we're going to see Evelyn in Grants, New Mexico. And we're going to see Tony and Angie, or Tony. I'm hoping Tony and Angie. We're going to see them in El Reno, Oklahoma, which is our first night stay, is in El Reno, Oklahoma. So if you don't know what the Poverty Tour is, check it out. If you have Facebook, look at Poverty Tour 2025 Facebook group. Look at that. And you can see a lot of what's going on there. But our trip goes from Joplin to El Reno to Amarillo, Amarillo to Grants, New Mexico, Grants, New Mexico to Globe, Arizona, and then from Globe, Arizona, right on down to Tucson. We should be at the drag strip by, let's see, Thursday. I mean, we should be in Tucson by Thursday. And they said that they're opening up the pits on Thursday, so we should be able to go on in, get a good spot and everything. And I did buy the drag race package, so I can race at the Duct Tape Drags. Probably won't, but I did purchase it just in case. So yeah, everybody's saying everybody have a blessed evening. And Angie's coming. All right, good. That's great. We'll have dinner or something. So anyway, well, guys, head on over to White Rock. Tell them Gillum Farms sent you and everything. I'm going to get back on editing my video right now for tomorrow, and I will see you guys later. Thanks for coming in. Oh, Angie said you'll have to come get me if I'm broke. Yeah. Right. Absolutely. Well, might happen. You never know. All right, guys. Good night. Have a great evening, and we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.